Hello, I'm Robyn Smith, trauma and relationship coach and founder of the Rock Your Relationship movement and the Rock Your Relationships Sisterhood Facebook group. And thanks for being here. We are talking today about how to have authentic relationships and what might be in the way. So are you a person who tries to guess what others need and want so you can do that in order to avoid any conflict in the relationship? Put a yes, that's me in the comment below. Or do you avoid saying no to people so you don't disappoint them or lose them ultimately? Put a me in the comment if that's true for you. And last question, do you always put others' needs before your own so you don't appear needy and also so people like you and also so they need you? Put a need in the comment below if that's you. So for sure, you're not alone if you said yes or put a comment in the comment section around this, because I hear this a lot from the women I work with, that they're doing these things in order to stay in the relationship. And while it may work, there are several problems. So the main problems are that if you're putting others first in order to please them or stay out of conflict or avoid disappointing them or avoid rejection or abandonment, you're not honoring your own needs and desires and fears and limits and emotions, and you're basically abandoning yourself. And when you do that, you can't really have a satisfying and fulfilling relationship because you're not fully in the relationship. You're not revealing yourself. You're not being vulnerable and open and able to connect from that place. So what you end up having is unsatisfying and inauthentic relationships, relationships based on your behaviors of being generous and kind and giving. But they're not satisfying for you because you give so much, and you often will draw people who want those qualities from you, but they don't reciprocate, and they're taking advantage of your generosity and kindness. So put a yes in the comment if that feels true for you. And the thing is, if you're doing this, people aren't getting to know the real you because you're showing them this one side, the positive side, the giving side, the generous side, the pleasing side, the likable side. But we all have issues. We all have challenges. We all have fears. We all have our struggles. And if you're not showing those to people because you're trying to avoid disagreement and conflict or abandonment, then you may get to keep the relationship, but again, the relationship is going to stay more on the surface. We all have needs. We all have desires. We all have boundaries and limits. And so people don't get to know those when you don't share them. And they also don't get to know the real you, the full spectrum of you, the both sides of the coin, or you could say all the colors of the rainbow. We all have more likable, outgoing, maybe generous, kind qualities. And we all also have those parts of us that are, still struggling or still dark, you could say, or frustrated or angry or whatever it is. But when we suppress those parts and just show the ones we think people like and want, then we only are going to have relationships based on that part of who we are. So people won't get to know the full spectrum of us. And then when we're in relationships with them, we're always going to feel like we have to hide this other side of us. And then that creates a lot of tension in the system, a lot of contraction, a lot of kind of closing part of yourself off. It's draining energetically. You don't get to be your whole self when you're doing that. And then you can't form relationships where people can embrace your whole self because they don't know that side. So they're drawn to only this other side. And then you have this fear that if I show my true colors, the other half of the rainbow, then I might get, again, this abandonment or rejection in some way. So it's not healthy for you to do this. You're draining your energy, you're working too hard, you're overgiving. A lot of people burn out from that. And also you're not being satisfied in your relationships because people can't really hold you when they don't really know you. They don't know all of you. So what to do? Everyone, again, when you can really start to embrace, okay, everyone has fears, everyone has needs, everyone has boundaries. It's okay that I have them too. That's a good start. And I just want to say that I know that I can't just tell you to just start sharing that stuff if that's really scary for you. You're most likely, and this is what I do with my clients, you're going to need to do the work to get underneath why that is so scary. Why is that there? And you don't have to know that all the history of that, but the fears that are driving that. And when we can look at that and you can start to build a stronger base, knowing that you can be liked and loved for having your needs and having your fears and having your boundaries and having all your emotions, then you're going to be more able to express that stuff. So that's really important, doing that deeper work to get to the place of more confidence and more value in yourself and more acceptance of your whole spectrum of the rainbow. That's really the deeper work. And when you can do that, you're more likely to feel trusting of others too. When you can trust in your own value and worth and lovability and likability, then you're more likely to trust that you will find those people that are drawn to and want to be around the full spectrum of you. And you can start to trust that if they can't handle that part of you that you think may be too much or too needy or whatever, then they're not the right fit for you. So this is the key, to start trusting and building from a place of doing this deeper work. I can't tell you, just start trusting. It doesn't work that way, but to do the deeper work so that you trust in yourself and value yourself so that you feel like you can be okay with somebody not liking you. And you can be okay if that person's not going to be your friend, or you have to leave that friendship. And you don't get to keep all the same people in your life if they're not healthy relationships for you. So take that in, because the real juice is when all your relationships feel good and nurturing and comfortable and easeful and connecting, and you don't have to put on a mask to be around certain people. You may choose to do that in certain relationships, but if you're spending the bulk of your time with people where you're wearing a mask, you're trying to be liked and you're putting a lot of energy out so people like and love you, then you're going to burn out on that, and you're going to make yourself sick. So the other thing we can look at, and you can start wondering into, is why did I need to do this? Why do I think I need to do that? So when you're doing something like this extra effort that I'm talking about, chances are you had something happen in your childhood, or you were raised by people who didn't allow you to be you. They didn't allow you to have needs. If you had parents or caregivers who didn't care for your needs, you made up the story that your needs were not okay. If you had caregivers who didn't allow you to have boundaries or big emotions, then you decided it's not okay to have those. So you suppress those. So if any of that resonates, you can put resonate in the comment below. And again, know that you're not alone in that, but there is work to do around that to bring that part of you back, to say, it's okay if I have big emotions sometimes, if I have a lot of fear, if I have a lot of anger. It's not that we have them because we all have them. It's what we do with them. So you can have your anger and not hurt somebody, or you can have your anger and hurt somebody. So the question is, what do you do with that, and how do you work with the emotions that you have? And again, the real support for yourself is to let it be okay that you have your emotions, and get the support from outside yourself, most likely, and how to work with that big energy when it comes, because it can be scary. So the more you can do this emotional work with yourself, and this work on valuing yourself, and learning how to trust that you are acceptable as you are, with all of the colors that you maybe haven't shown the world, then you're going to be a happier, healthier person, having happier, healthy relationships. I hope that's making sense. Please feel free to leave a comment below or ask a question, and I will come around and respond. And thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please like the video. Please subscribe below. That helps more people find these videos. And if you're watching in Facebook, invite your friends to my Facebook group, the Healthy Relationships Sisterhood. And I hope to see you soon. Take care.